Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
It was past closing time at the community art studio, and frankly, I was exhausted. My last pottery class had been particularly enthusiastic with the clay, leaving me looking like I'd wrestled a mud monster. My old denim smock was caked in beige and terracotta, and I had clay dust in my hair. All I wanted was to hose down the throwing wheels, wipe the tables, and then get myself home for a long, hot shower. Walker, our evening custodian, was already quietly sweeping the main hall, his presence a comforting sign that the day was truly winding down. I was just about to pull off my stiff smock when I heard a sharp rapping on the studio's glass door. Through the smudged glass, I saw a woman, impeccably dressed in a pristine white linen outfit, looking rather put out. Next to her stood a small girl, maybe 8 or 9, clutching a sparkly unicorn backpack. I sighed, motioned to Walker that I'd get it, and opened the door. "Excuse me," she began, her voice a little too loud for the quiet hall. "Are you still open? I need to enroll my daughter Lottie in the advanced sculpture class. She's a prodigy, you see." "I'm so sorry, ma'am," I replied, trying to be polite despite the late hour. "We actually closed about 10 minutes ago. All enrollments are done online or through reception during business hours. We can't process anything here at this time." "What do you mean you can't process it?" she huffed, looking me up and down. "You're right here, and honestly, are you going to approach customers looking like that? You're covered in dirt. It's highly unprofessional." I glanced down at my smock, which, yes, was undeniably dirty, but this was an art studio, not a sterile bank. "Ma'am, this is a pottery studio. Clay is part of the job. I've just finished cleaning up a class," I explained, trying to keep my voice even. "As for enrollment, my system is locked down after hours. You'll need to come back tomorrow or use our website." "Unacceptable," she declared, stepping a little closer, forcing Lottie back a step. "My daughter needs to start tomorrow. She has a vision. This is urgent. And if you're the instructor, I don't want her exposed to such slovenliness. What kind of example are you setting?" Walker, who had paused his sweeping, slowly pushed his cart a little closer. "Everything all right here, Meredith?" he asked, using her first name, which surprised me. Apparently, she was a known quantity. Meredith bristled. "It is not all right, Walker. This person is refusing to help me and is presenting a terrible image for the center. She should be disciplined." She then turned back to me, her eyes narrowing. "And why are you alone with a man at this hour? It's highly suspicious. What exactly are you doing here after closing, looking like that?" I felt my jaw tighten. "I'm cleaning my studio after a class, just like I do every evening, and Walker is our custodian. There's nothing suspicious about it. This is a community center, not a private residence." "Oh, really?" she sneered. "A community center where instructors look like they've rolled in a ditch and are cavorting with staff after hours. Lottie, darling, this is not the environment for your delicate artistic sensibilities." She made a disgusted noise. "I demand to speak to your manager. This is absolutely inappropriate. My Lottie deserves a clean, proper environment and an instructor who respects herself." Just then, Gemma, another instructor who often stayed late to work on her own projects, emerged from the kiln room, wiping charcoal dust from her hands. She was wearing ripped jeans and an oversized, paint-splattered hoodie, far worse than my current state. She took in the scene. "Is there a problem, Meredith?" Gemma asked, her voice calm but firm. "You know the rules about after hours, and Op is just doing their job." Meredith's eyes widened, taking in Gemma's even more disheveled appearance. "Another one," she gasped, gesturing wildly between us. "Look at you both, it's a disgrace. What exactly is going on here after hours with all this mess and these men?" She gestured vaguely towards Walker. Walker, who had been patiently listening, finally stepped forward. "Meredith, with all due respect, this is an art studio. People get messy, and we're working. If you want to enroll Lottie, you'll need to do it tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to leave." Meredith's face turned a shade of mottled purple. "You can't talk to me like that. I'm a patron." "And we're employees doing our job," I countered, finally losing my patience. "You are welcome to come back during business hours, But you are not welcome to insult me or my colleagues or make baseless accusations. Her poor daughter, Lottie, had shrunk behind her mother, her face bright red, occasionally peeking out with an apologetic look. It was clear she was mortified. Just as Meredith seemed to be gathering herself for another tirade, the main entrance door chimed, and Dakota, my partner, walked in, keys jingling. They looked at me, then at the furious Meredith, then at the embarrassed Lottie, and finally at Walker and Gemma. "Everything okay, honey?" Dakota asked, immediately sensing the tension, and gave me a quick, comforting hug. Meredith let out a sound like a deflating tire. She shot us one last look of utter disdain, grabbed Lottie by the arm, and practically dragged her out the door, muttering about unprofessionalism and moral decay. We all just stood there for a moment, then burst out laughing, the absurdity of it all finally hitting us. I swear, some people live in a different dimension where art studios are spotless and artists are always pristine. The nerve.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.